Now let's take a look at the next verse. Verse 15. And Elohim said again to Moshe, thus you will say to the sons of Israel, Yahweh, Elohim of your fathers, Elohim of Avraham, Elohim of Yitzchak, and Elohim of Yaakov sent me to you. This is my name for a long time, and this is my memorial for generation and generation. Elohim again gives his name to Moshe, but this time it is Yahweh. The two names, Yahweh and Ehya, are related. Here's the verb haya, again, which we discussed earlier, and here's the Hebrew verb hawa, he wa he. Let's take a look at this verb hawa. It is virtually identical in meaning and use as the verb haya. The first person is ehwa, and that means I exist or I am. The second person, tihwa, you exist or you are. And the third person, yihweh, he exists or he is. Do you notice here that the third person of the verb hawa is spelled yod, he, vav, he? Remember, all Hebrew names are words with meaning. Therefore, names like Jehovah, Yahweh, Yahuwah, Jehovah, etc. mean nothing in Hebrew, because none of these words are Hebrew words. They mean nothing in the Hebrew language. So, in my opinion, the pronunciation of the name Yod-He Vav-He is Yihweh. I should point out why I use the W rather than a V for the letter Vav. In modern Hebrew, the sixth letter of the alphabet is the letter Vav, which has a V sound. However, it can also take on the O or the U vowel sounds. There is some controversy over this, in that there are those who believe that in ancient times this letter was the letter Wa and had a W sound along with the O and the U. Personally, I believe that it was a Wa, a W sound. And there's evidence for this. One of those is that 4 of the letters in the Hebrew alphabet doubled as consonants and vowels. These are the Aleph, the He, the Wa, and the Yod. The Yod, for example, can be the consonant Y or the vowel I or E. Notice that the Y and the E are very similar in sound. In the same way, the Wa or W is similar to O and U. Another piece of evidence is that Arabic, which is almost identical to Hebrew in its alphabet, does not have a Vav, it has a Wa, and it's pronounced with a W. It's possible that the V sound may have come from a Germanic European influence. So rather than Yiveh, it would be Yihweh. However, I do not believe that the focus should be on how the name is pronounced, but instead on what that name means. Let's take a look at Exodus 20 verse 7 from the King James Version. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. We've had many people interpret this verse many different ways, but in my opinion, looking at this Hebraically, literally what this verse is saying, you shall not lift up the character of Yahweh falsely. What I believe this verse is saying, that we are the representatives of Yahweh. We take his character, the Hebrew word for name, Shem, means character, and place it within us. Now, as his representatives, if we go out and lie, steal, or cheat, we're now representing his character falsely. Another verse is Numbers 6:27. And they, the Kohanim, the priests, shall put my name upon the children of Israel. Now, at first glance here, this really doesn't make a lot of sense, because how do you put a name on a people? Are they supposed to write this on them? But we have to understand that the Hebrews wrote very concretely. They used concepts that you can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. So what this is talking about is taking the character of Yahweh and giving it to the people. Interestingly, this verse comes right after the Aaronic blessing. And the Aaronic blessing describes the entire character of Yahweh. Then the Kohanim are supposed to take this character, which is the name, not just a name like 4 letters, but the character of Yahweh, and teach it to the people, so that they now have the character of Yahweh within them. In summary, these 3 verses that we looked at, Exodus chapter 3, verses 13 to 15, we see the Ehya Asher Ehya. We looked at that from a Hebraic perspective on what that phrase means. But then we also recognize that Yahweh has 2 names. Ehya, which means I exist, I will exist, I am. And also Yahweh, which means he exists, he will exist, he is. And both of these names are related to each other. Both of these names are conveying the idea that Yahweh is the existing one. One thing that we must keep in mind, in the ancient Hebrew thought, only that which can be experienced exists. One of the major differences between Hebrew thought and Greek thought is that Hebrew thought only concerns itself with that which you know, that which you can see, hear, smell, taste, or touch. Greek thought, on the other hand, goes beyond that, the abstract. What is out there that I have not experienced? Sciences are developed out of Greek thought. Hebrew thought cannot develop the sciences because of its way of thinking. Israel in Egypt had not experienced Yahweh, therefore to them he did not exist. So Moshe's question to Elohim is, they're going to ask me who you are. What am I going to tell them? What is your name? What is your character? And his response is, I am the one who exists because I am the one who exists.